The courtroom is silent, except for the echo of a gavel hitting the bench. All eyes are on Kody, his face a mask of calm. But inside, a storm is burning. Tonight, secrets no one dared speak are about to explode in front of the world. Who will walk out with their honor intact, and who will be shattered forever? Don't forget to share your first guess on who you think will crack under the pressure. The morning light streams through the tall, grimy windows of the courthouse, creating long shadows on the polished wood floors. The air smells slightly of old leather and coffee, and there's a low hum of whispers as reporters jockey for position. Kody enters, guarded by his legal team, his steps measured but tense. Every eye in the room follows him, the weight of the day pressing down like a physical force. Robin sits a few rows back, gripping her notes so tightly that her fingers blanch white. Her normal, composed demeanor falters just slightly, a tremor in her jaw betraying her nervousness. Across from her, Christine leans back, a faint smirk on her face, exuding the kind of confidence that only comes from a lifetime of moving in the shadows. Janelle sits quietly, eyes fixed on the floor, seemingly calm, but the tapping of her fingers against her purse hints at her inner turmoil. Mary looks lost, like a ship caught in a storm, her hands folded in her lap, as she quietly prays the storm doesn't turn on her. The judge enters, and a hush falls over the room. Kody's attorney stands, adjusting his tie and papers, while rival counsel shoots a sharp glance toward the family. The tension is obvious, the kind that makes your chest tighten and your stomach churn. This is the day. Every whispered betrayal, every hidden text message, and every secret kept behind closed doors will be pulled into the harsh light of truth. The first witness is called. It's Robin. She rises slowly, the sound of her shoes clicking on the courtroom floor echoing like gunshots. She turns to face the jury, her voice quivering only slightly as she starts recounting events that could tear the family apart. Every sentence feels like a carefully aimed arrow, piercing the facade of calm that Kody has so meticulously kept. And just when you think the truth is out, wait, because what Robin says next will leave everyone in shock. The stress ratchets up as Christine is called to the stand next. Her evidence is calm, measured, and sharp, cutting through the courtroom air like a knife. She describes events with an almost clinical precision, but the way her eyes dart toward Robin, the subtle sneer curling at the edge of her lips, tells a story far more dangerous than her words. This isn't just testimony, this is a fight, and the battlefield is the family itself. The crowd can feel the room shift. The air gets heavier, almost tangible, as the exchanges between attorneys escalate. Objections fly, whispers erupt, and the subtle undercurrent of fear and betrayal starts to surface. Kody shifts in his seat, hands clenched, trying to keep his composure. He knows that everything hangs on the next few moments. Every detail, every word, every pause could determine the direction of this battle. Then the courtroom doors creak open, and an unexpected person enters. The gasps spread through the room like a wave, eyes widening, jaws dropping. This witness wasn't on the list, wasn't expected, and their appearance threatens to change everything. The judge slams the gavel, demanding order, but the tension has already hit a fever pitch. Everyone knows, this is the turning point, and nothing will ever be the same after what is told next. The first session ends here, with the new witness ready to speak, and the entire audience holding its breath. The courtroom feels smaller now, though the roof stretches high above. Every sound, the rustle of papers, the scratch of pens, even the quiet intake of breath, feels amplified. The unexpected witness steps forward, a figure whose appearance alone sends a ripple of unease through the family. It's someone nobody thought would testify, a close friend who has seen Kody's family behind the scenes, privy to conversations no one else has heard. The witness clears their throat, and the room gets silent. "I never wanted to be here," they begin, voice shaking. "But I can't stay silent anymore. There are facts you all deserve to know." Kody's jaw tightens, his fingers holding the edge of the table so hard that the polished wood creaks. Robin exhales quickly, her hand clenching her notes until they crinkle. Christine leans forward slightly, eyes narrowing, already calculating how to react. Janelle and Mary exchange worried looks, their composure wavering as the witness continues. "I was in the room when Kody received the messages," the witness says, voice gaining strength. And what I heard? It changes everything. It's about trust, about promises, and about who really holds power in this family. A shiver runs through the hall. Gasps emerge from the gallery. The lawyers rise, objections almost spilling from their lips. But the judge's firm hand silences them. The words hang in the air like smoke, twisting and thickening, pressing on everyone's chest. Just when you think the story can't get any darker, the next reveal will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew. Christine is the first to react, her voice deceptively calm. "You're claiming things you cannot prove," she says, tone sharp but measured, each word meant to cut the tension without shattering her poise. But the witness shakes their head, eyes flashing with confidence. "I have proof. I've saved messages, recordings, everything." Robin's voice breaks as she asks, "Why now? Why share this here?" Tears well in her eyes, her voice almost a whisper, but everyone in the courtroom hears it. The emotional weight of her question hangs heavy, echoing around the wood-paneled walls. The witness steps closer, laying a folder of papers on the stand. The camera pans across the courtroom. Kody's face pales, Christine's eyes widen slightly, and Janelle covers her mouth with her hand. Mary's knees shake under her skirt, the world tilting beneath her as she stares at the papers. The lawyers scramble, flipping through the papers, each page revealing more explosive details, secret conversations, promises broken, alliances made in whispers. Each reveal feels like a lightning strike, sending shockwaves through everyone present. Then comes the bombshell, a tape, played through the courtroom's speakers. Kody's voice fills the room, clear and unmistakable, but the words reveal a side of him that nobody, not even the family, has ever publicly seen. Shouts, murmurs, and the gasps of amazement mingle into a tense symphony of chaos. Robin hides her face in her hands. Christine's lips press into a thin line, eyes burning with anger and fear. Janelle's fingers tremble, barely able to hold onto her bag. Mary whispers a quiet, shaky prayer, almost too soft to hear. The room is a powder keg, and every second, the tension gets heavier. The judge bangs the gavel, struggling to keep order. "Everyone, calm down. We will continue in an orderly fashion," the voice booms, but it barely cuts through the emotional storm that has taken hold. The witness turns toward Kody, eyes searing. "Do you deny these words?" Kody stands, hands raised slightly, as if to hold back the storm inside him. He opens his mouth, and for a long moment, nobody speaks. Every eye is on him, every breath held. And then, the words that no one expected leave his lips. A confession, partial but enough to shatter trust, enough to spark a firestorm that will consume every relationship in the room. Hold on tight. What Kody admits next will change everything, and no one leaves this courtroom the same. The session ends with the judge asking for a short recess, the tension so thick it could be sliced with a knife. Outside the courtroom, whispers burst. Reporters murmur excitedly. Cameras flash, and the family retreats to a back room, the weight of what just happened pressing down on them like a physical force. The door closes, and the family knows, in their hearts, that nothing will ever be the same. Every secret, every lie, every hidden relationship is about to come to light, and the fallout will be unimaginable. The courtroom reconvenes after the break. The air feels thicker now, thick with anticipation, anger, and fear. Kody sits at the front, obviously drained, rubbing his temple as though trying to erase the memory of his own confession. Robin sits beside him, face pale, eyes rimmed with red, yet a hard determination flickers there. Christine leans back in her chair, almost smug, but her fingers tap nervously against her notepad. Janelle's hands are clasped tightly in her lap, and Mary seems frozen, looking at nothing, trying to process the chaos that has overtaken her family. The judge calls the next witness, and the stress spikes again. This time, it's someone who has been quietly observing from the shadows, a former friend of the family, who knows secrets that even the closest wives may not guess. As they step to the stand, the room grows quiet, the kind of silence that makes every heartbeat thunder in your chest. "I've stayed silent for too long," the witness starts, voice shaking but firm. "But what I know, it affects more than just this family. It's about trust, betrayal, and effects that will reach far beyond these walls." The attorneys lean forward, pens ready to capture every word. The witness unfolds a narrative that reaches back years. Clandestine meetings, whispered arguments, and vows broken in private. Names are named, dates are given, and for the first time, the jury begins to grasp the full scope of the tangled web that Kody's family has spun. Robin bites her lip, fighting tears as memories of the moments described flash in her mind. Christine's jaw tightens, her usual poise cracking just slightly, as she understands the magnitude of what is being revealed. Janelle exhales slowly, trying to steady herself, while Mary's fingers tremble as she clutches her bag, the color draining from her face. Then comes a discovery that stops everyone in their tracks. A text message, dated years ago, that contradicts everything Kody has claimed. The judge raises an eyebrow, the jury leans forward, and the courtroom simultaneously exhales. The evidence is irrefutable, and it paints a picture far darker than anyone expected. You won't believe whose loyalty is questioned next. The truth will shock everyone in this room. Christine leans forward, her words dripping with accusation. You claim loyalty, yet here we see proof of deceit. How do you explain this, Kody? Her words are precise, surgical, designed to cut deep. Kody shifts awkwardly, hands tightening into fists. His eyes dart between the wives, between the attorneys, between the judge, searching, pleading quietly for a lifeline that may not exist. Robin, despite her tears, speaks up, her voice trembling but strong. This isn't just about words on a screen. It's about the lives we've lived, the faith that's been broken, the promises that were never meant to be kept. Her tone is accusatory, but layered with pain. Every syllable strikes like a hammer, leaving the room vibrating with feeling. Then, without warning, the witness drops the bombshell. An audio recording of a private conversation between Kody and one of the wives, showing plans and manipulations that nobody outside the inner circle could have imagined. The recording plays, and the room goes silent, except for Kody's unmistakable voice. The words are sharp, cunning, and shocking, exposing not just betrayal, but calculated tactics meant to pit the wives against each other. Janelle gasps, covering her mouth, eyes wide. Mary begins to cry quietly, her body shaking as she tries to process the betrayal. Robin's hands tremble as she wipes tears from her face, her mind racing. Christine sits back, a faint smile playing on her lips, but even she cannot fully hide the unease that ripples through her. The lawyers scramble to respond, rising to object, questioning the validity of the recording, but the judge silences them with a sharp hand. Proceed carefully, counsel. The courtroom is a maelstrom of feelings now. Anger, grief, shock, and fear, all swirling together. Kody's composure is broken. He leans back, head in his hands, whispering words of sorrow that only he can hear. The wives trade silent, loaded looks, alliances forming and breaking in an instant. Hold your breath, because what happens next will change the family forever, and no one is prepared for the next reveal. The session ends on the first big cliffhanger of the day. Kody is about to take the stand and answer questions directly about the recordings and messages. Everyone knows that what he says next could either repair fractured relationships or destroy them totally. Cameras flash, the jury leans in, and the judge's gaze cuts across the room like a blade. No one moves. Every eye is fixed on Kody, and in that pregnant moment, the audience waits, because the next statement, the next truth will leave no one untouched. The courtroom is electric. Every eye is on Kody as he rises to take the stand. The air is heavy, almost suffocating, the kind of stress that makes the walls seem to close in. Cameras flash, the judge leans forward, and the wives, Robin, Christine, Janelle, and Mary, sit rigid, their expressions unreadable, yet betraying the storm of feelings beneath. Kody clears his throat, trying to steady his voice, but it cracks slightly. He begins, pausing. I never wanted any of this to happen the way it did. The words hang in the air, fragile, yet loaded with meaning. The lawyers fire their questions, precise and relentless, trying to extract every detail from him. Mr. Brown, is it true that you knowingly withheld information from your family? Kody swallows hard, eyes moving toward Robin. Yes, he says quietly, almost a whisper, but the courtroom still hears it. I made mistakes. I thought I was protecting everyone, but I see now that I was only protecting myself. Gasps ripple through the room. Robin's hand flies to her mouth, tears welling in her eyes. Christine leans forward, her gaze sharp, searching Kody's face for the depth of his deceit. Janelle's jaw tightens, and Mary's shoulders slump as if the weight of the truth has literally knocked her down. Then, the witness from the previous session steps forward, holding more documents, emails, pictures, and recordings. "There's more," they say, voice steady, eyes fixed on Kody. Things that reveal the extent of the manipulation. The jury needs to see this. Kody's face pales as the papers are laid out on the stand. Every page reveals schemes, whispered arguments, and secret alliances. He looks down, unable to meet the eyes of the wives. I thought I could handle it all," he says. "I thought I could manage everyone's expectations, but I was wrong." Brace yourself. What happens next will push the family to the edge, and the courts won't be able to contain the chaos. Robin stands suddenly, voice shaky but strong. "You lied to us. You violated our trust. How could you do this to your own family?" Her words pierce the room, echoing off the walls. The judge raises a hand to calm her, but the emotional flood has already started. Christine, ever composed but simmering with controlled rage, leans forward. "Mr. Brown, we've all lived in your shadow, trying to manage your secrets. How do you expect us to move forward now?" Her tone is icy, sharp, and cutting, yet beneath it lies a vulnerability she rarely allows anyone to see. Janelle talks next, her voice small but steady. "This isn't just about mistakes, it's about choosing, and some choices can't be undone." Her words hang, heavy with meaning, adding another layer of tension. Mary's voice is barely a whisper, but it cuts through the room like glass. I can't even look at you right now," she says, tears spilling easily. "Everything I thought I knew is gone." The judge calls for order as the tension hits a breaking point, but it's too late. Kody is forced to answer the most damaging questions about secret meetings, hidden messages, and moments that were never meant to be revealed. Each admission cuts deeper, unraveling the carefully built facade of the family. Suddenly, the courtroom doors swing open, and a surprising figure enters. The room goes silent again, all attention drawn to this intruder. They carry documents and recordings that could shift the balance of power totally, threatening to expose not just Kody, but the entire family, in ways no one is prepared for. Hold on tight, because what this person says next will change everything, and leave you questioning who you can trust. The newcomer steps forward, speech firm, eyes scanning the room. "What you're about to hear has been hidden for years. Every word, every action, it matters, and it will decide the fate of everyone here." The session ends on the most shocking cliffhanger yet. The evidence they hold is about to be released, and the family knows, instinctively, that nothing will ever be the same. Every connection, every loyalty, every fragile bond is now on the line. The room holds its collective breath, waiting for the next admission that will shatter the family forever.